could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly.
At the beginning of the year, I had lofty goals that I wanted to achieve. Now here we are in June, and I'm starting to question. So I've been thinking a lot on why people lose their muster, lose their determination, lose their way when it comes to goals. And these are a couple of things that I have found. So the question of why do people give up on goals? Why have you given up on your goals? Why have I given up on my goals? It certainly isn't rocket science. People usually give up when it gets too hard or it takes too long. We fail a few too many times and respond by giving up. Unfortunately, if this is our response, we are going to ensure defeat because failure is going to happen. We are going to encounter obstacles, and frankly, we may be completely clueless about what we're doing, at least in the beginning. But as we progress, we learn, practice, and build commitment to our dreams. Obstacles will disappear, but you can prepare for them. You can prepare to surmount your obstacles. So to help you prepare for barriers and blockages, here are 6 of the most important reasons people give up on goals and what you can do about them. Number 1, lack of ownership. Have you ever had goals that you simply didn't care about, that were far and distant goals someone else placed in your control, but they weren't your goals? Not if you've had a choice at least. Think about it. How many of your goals feels more like obligations? These goals lack ownership and are really difficult to stay motivated without a sense of purpose and meaning for what we're doing. So what do we do about it? Well, you must buy in to your goals and take ownership. This will shift the ownership to an internal point of reference. Then effectiveness and mastery can come about. I've worked too hard and too long to let anything stand in my way of my goals. Let myself down. Number 2, not willing to put in the time. If you're like me, you tend to think you can take on more than you have time for. It's easy to understand the time it will take to complete certain tasks. This optimism bias is a habit that leads to giving up. I end up getting overwhelmed and I can't dedicate the necessary time. So what do I do about it? Well, it's not about that I need more time. I need to use my time more effectively. Focus on the most important things. Spend time on what will get me the most results. Drop the busy work. Keep focused on getting results instead of completing tasks. Number 3, not willing to do the hard work. The path to our potential is never an easy one. The goals I am most proud of were the most challenging and audacious. I ran a 50-mile race. Yes, it was by myself. Yes, I had some people to cheer me along the way, but I stayed focused on that challenge. And along with the factor of time, the optimism bias applies equally difficult. When something is more difficult than we expected, it can be demotivating. But as the saying goes, anything worth doing takes hard work. So what do you do about it? Recognize that we don't already excel in will, require hard work and practice. So if something is harder than you expected, is it time to practice more than you expect? As you learn what you need to learn and develop the skills you need to develop, things will become easier, like a 100-mile race. When it's obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, just adjust the action steps. ADHD. Okay, no, seriously, I'm just kidding. I mean distractions. Seems like everyone has attention deficits these days. Think of all the content competing for our attention on a daily basis. We might be distracted by other people, television, the computer, our phones. Not only are these external distractions an issue, but many people have numerous goals at a time competing for their time and energy. We can jump from one goal to another, never finding firm footing to move forward. So what do you do about it? For the most part, we can avoid some distractions by unplugging, by turning off the electronics. We can also make sure to find a place where you will be undisturbed. In general, stop multitasking and only work on one thing at a time. You will end up being more efficient and effective because of this. And it's so true. I could run a fast 10K or run 5K, or I could just focus on working my way to running a 100-mile race. Insufficient reward is number 5. So hey, where's the big payoff? I thought if I worked this hard and put in all this time that I would have more results. Disappointment sets in when achievement of a goal doesn't translate into other goals or to the desired happiness. When we feel like we're working hard for nothing, it is easy to want to give up. So what to do about it? This is why setting small milestones along the way is so important. You won't transform your life overnight. It is the same as weightlifting or exercising. We can't expect to bench press 300 pounds without training. We have to set milestones along the way. Number 6, old habits die hard. Sometimes getting started isn't the hardest part. The hard part is sticking with your new habit or a lifestyle. Maintaining a changed behavior is difficult, and there are always the pull of the old and the fear of the new. Old habits die hard if we aren't prepared to keep up the challenges. So what do you do about it? Focus on progress, not perfection. Give yourself a break and realize that you might fall back into old patterns. Personal change is a back and forth swing. We take a few steps forward and one step back. The key is to keep the momentum in the forward direction. Next time you feel like giving up, consider these different ideas before you decide to surrender. Just like anything in life, if you want it bad enough, you will put in the work and practice and practice and practice. Success might be around the corner, and all you need is just a little more motivation, practice, and persistence, and you'll get there. Like I always say, get out and run. See you on Sunday.